Item number 17, request for water and sewer bill adjustment at 206 B Street Southeast. Amanda Roberts and Amber Pruitt. Ms. Roberts, are you here? Okay, Amber, can you tell us what's going on?
Ms. Roberts was not able to come tonight, so I guess I'm representing her. But earlier in the year, in August, before I had done my billing, I noticed there was a high reading at her address, so we had sent a technician out to reread the meter and make sure that there was no leak at that time. He went back out, the reading was correct, and there did not show any leak, so we did send out a letter that same day to notify her of a possible issue with the plumbing or a toilet or something to take a look at, and she would have a higher bill. The second bill was produced after that with another high reading as well, and then we were finally contacted by the property manager, who said that they had a plumber come out to check the service line. There was no issue on the service line, no leak repaired, and she'd requested that we do an adjustment because she had a plumber come out and check the line. For our policy, we are unable to do any adjustments unless a leak is repaired. So I was unable to do any adjustments on her account. Now, as for the excessive charges on the account due to the water and sewer, it was $770.41. Her average bill is about $21.07.
So I understand this a little better. Was there a leak and it was?
Well, at the time that we sent our technician out the very first time, it did show a leak. So we sent her a letter. Now, how he checks is he does look at the meter, and if the meter is turning and we can tell that there's water going through, we suspect a leak.
It was downstream of the meter.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we did send her a letter to notify her that there is an excessive water usage. You may check your toilet flapper, all your lines, faucets, everything like that, because all that we can tell is that there is an excessive water usage. So the following month, the bill was high again, and then that is when the property manager provided us with a statement from a plumber saying that it was inspected and there was no leak at the time he went out to inspect it. So I don't know what the issue was, where that water went. All that I can say is at the time when we sent our technician out the first month, the meter was spinning, the water was going through that meter.
And do we have another reading since then, since the plumber went out, that
Yes.
is back to normal?
Yes, we had actually sent our technician out a second time after that to read it again. It did not show a leak at that time, meaning that the water meter was standing still, and the reading was correct. Plus, she's also had another bill printed since then as well, and on that bill, there was only 1,000 gallons water used. So as of right now, it shows that there's no excessive water use.
But there was no repairs.
No repairs, no.
I believe our
I'm a little
policy
confused.
states there needs to be a repair, and the repair bill needs to be submitted before we
Yes.
consider making an adjustment on the water bill.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Okay.
just to be clear, does our policy state that that's required for you to make an adjustment, or does that also include for the council to make an adjustment?
It's actually for me to make an adjustment. It says in our policy, any request for an adjustment other than as provided in this provision may be made only upon written application and hearing by the utility board.
Or in this case, the council. Okay, so, you know, the point I was making was I think that we still have the discretion without a repair bill, but I'm still confused about how this
I am
has
too.
come about without if there was nothing wrong, unless you just had a flapper going and
Which
Yeah.
is
and
highly
fixed it.
possible.
Yeah, we just
I
went
mean,
down the sewer. It wasn't leaking in the yard, so.
Right.
And then she did receive a letter, but nothing, as far as we know, was done. Next month, an additional high bill,
Exactly.
and then the following month, the problem was corrected somehow.
Yes, sir.
So my inclination is maybe to consider something on the 1 month.
Yeah.
You know, but after we gave notice and no action was taken, I'm not quite as understanding, I guess, about that time
I
around.
agree with you.
So can you give us the amounts for each month again, please, Amber?
Unfortunately, I just have the total for both months. The total for both months, and they were about the same usage. So I mean, almost in half for each. But the total was $770.
Okay, so that is for both. So
That is for both.
maybe 350
per
for
each month, yeah.
Would be
And-
385.
And the normal bill for that time period for 2 months, I guess, or normal bill for a month.
The normal bill for a month, an average bill for her usage is $21.
So you got about $360 difference. Is that what you come up with? And what did we, the two that we've adjudicated before, for some reason 30% comes to mind. I don't remember
It was
why.
about,
Just-
yeah, it was pretty close to it. Do you remember, Amber?
On the other two cases, I was able to do my adjustment because there was a leak that had been repaired and they had provided plumber's receipts
Right.
and so on and so forth. So I was able to do my half of the excess of usage, and then I believe at that point it was about half on each of those. So the board adjusted about 25%
So about 75% total.
total,
So you're looking,
including that they again were able to provide that a leak had been repaired. They proved to us what the issue was.
Mayor, you're looking at a 182 if Amber was able to adjust.
And then half of that again would be
Yeah.
90, so about
Yeah.
$270.
Yeah.
Amber, would you please walk through the sequence once more about
Sure.
the letter, et cetera?
Before I actually do my billing, because again, our customers will use service for a month. We send a technician out to read our meter readers out to read the meters, so we can then do the billing for that month's usage. Before I actually print the billing, I will go through and see if there's any erroneous, anything that's out of line. In Mrs. Roberts' account, her bill was rather high for the water, so we went ahead and sent a technician out for the second time within that week's time frame to read the meter again. It showed that that was a correct reading first of all, and that it appeared that there would be a leak, so the meter was spinning rather quickly. And at that point in time, once I was notified of that, I then sent a letter out to her stating that there was a possible leak on the account, there was a higher water usage, and that her next bill would be higher than normal, and to check for any possible leak in the home.
And then there was a subsequent high reading.
Yes. And then the next month was high as well.
During this time, did you talk to her at all? I mean, were there conversations with her?
She had actually contacted the office. I didn't speak with her. One of my CSRs did. And we reiterated to her that we did check the meter. We've sent a technician out a second time, and it did show that there was a leak. She had read her meter as well and given us the reading, and again, it was higher still than what we had read it at the second time. So she was aware that something was going on. Yes.
And she acknowledged that.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts, Doug?
Well, I haven't seen the form letter, but she was informed, and then apparently, whether it was the cost of repairs or just the timeliness of getting it repaired, it incurred additional costs. I could see maybe possibly make an adjustment on the first month, but I mean, she was given fair warning.
And also, I mean, it is a rental as well, so it's not her personal property. So I mean, she should have taken the initiative to notify the property
It'd been
manager.
better if she was here and kind of explain, what happened. Did she run into a problem with the landlord, or?
I don't know. on
Did you
that.
say that you have heard from the landlord also, though?
Yes. Well, yes, the property manager.
And that was just to validate that after the second high reading, that
Yes,
was
the
inspected.
the property manager contacted me after the second reading. She had turned in that plumber's receipt stating that there was no leak on the service line, and wanted to know what adjustments would be able to be made. And I explained to her that because there was no leak repaired, per policy, I could not adjust anything.
I think Neil's done some rough math here, and if you take if you split them in half first, assuming pretty much equal uses each month, and then you discount 75% of the first month, which is the 50% that you would typically have done, even though per policy that didn't happen in this case, but if we gave her the benefit of the doubt, and then the further 25%, that leaves you $90, and if you add that back to the 365 or is it 385?
380.
You come up with 475, down from the 770, which is about a $300 adjustment. I think that's significant, and I think that we would all be more receptive if it had been a single month. But
Yeah.
carrying over into a couple of months, people have a responsibility to be diligent, especially when they get notified. And I mean, I agree with Doug, and I don't know why she wasn't able to be here tonight, but had she been able to be here, maybe, and offered some other extenuating circumstances, we might feel a little differently. Chrissy, do you have anything you want to add, or any other questions for clarification?
No, I just was wondering about, and I think you already answered that, in the instances before, you were able to adjust the consumer's bills?
Yes.
Because it was a little bit different situation.
It was a different situation in that they were able to provide me with plumber's receipts showing what the issue was that had been repaired. That there was a leak, or there was a pipe burst or something that was able to be repaired, not that a plumber had come out, checked the service line, and there was no issue to be found.
My feeling is that if we adjust anything, it'd be on the 1 month that she would know. It feels like she had a little bit, was out of her control if she had a landlord she was working with, but neither one of them are here to speak to it, so.
So I think we have a $475 adjustment, adjusting the bill from 770 down to 475 is what's being contemplated. Do you want to make that in a motion, Neil?
Mayor, I make a motion to adjust it to 475 for the both months.
Okay. And do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Please poll.
Johnson,
Aye.
Weston,
Aye.
McLean,
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye. Item